Hi everyone. Eagles versus Minnesota. Sammy Sleeves is coming back to the link. Big talk on radio was, do fans boo him? Do they cheer him? Of course you're going to boo him. Why wouldn't you? I mean, he was here 1 year. He did okay, nothing special. He wasn't a fan favorite. I don't understand what the big thing is. Like, the guy didn't light the world on fire. I mean, it's ridiculous. He's actually having a pretty decent season since he went over to Minnesota. 70% of his passes are completed. 6 touchdowns, no picks. Offensive line's kind of struggling. They've had some injuries. They're last in rushing yards. They use a 2-back set that's pretty decent. They keep alternating those guys, and they're filling in for Peterson pretty decent. Field goal kickers, 75% this year. So hopefully the Eagles can get him in some long range there and hopefully utilize that. Minnesota's a 2-point favorite on the road. Their defense is what's winning them games. They average 12 points a game given up. We're tied for third for most sacks, which going up against Big V, it's not going to look good for Wentz. They're tied third for interceptions. Good thing is Wentz hasn't been turning the ball over. He's got that one pick, whatever. We talked about that with Aguilar. It's tough, with Minnesota being a two-point favorite. If the Eagles come out as the 3-0 Eagles before the bye, Eagles are favored that game without a doubt. The last 2 games, who knows? You can't give up 14 points right off the bat like that and then keep fighting back. And last week they only scored 6 points. They had special teams and a defensive touchdown. Between those two, 6 points isn't going to win a game. Even though second half Washington only got 6 points, I believe, on field goals. So they got to, Schwartz has got to shore that up a little bit more with the defense in the first half. He's got to get that going. Cox has got to get in there. They're talking about Kendricks again, and Barwin's not doing the job. They got to get in there. Benny Logan's going to be out. So defensively, who knows what's going to happen there. Eagles' offensive line, Big V's going to be tested again. It's pretty bad. Last week, Ertz touched the ball, 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Then he had that one drop in the red zone. Selleck's had 4 catches. Burton's had a couple when Ertz was out. This offense, other than Wentz, who's still, he still has to prove himself, obviously. He's only got a couple games in. He's their out of all of them, he looks like the surefire Pro Bowler that someday, that's going to be in there. Everybody else, running backs, Matthews, Sproles, Smallwood, receivers, tight ends, just seem like a bunch of role players. They don't have that one guy that they can go to. I guess Jordan Matthews is that guy. He's labeled the number 1, but I don't know. When it comes down to it, they're just a bunch of helpers that did well the first 3 weeks. I think that was with just game planning, trying to pick up, new to the team, new to the league, with Peterson there and Reich there and Schwartz defensively and Wentz, and seeing his tendencies and the offensive play calling tendencies. Maybe the league right off the bat now they're starting to catch up to him. It's been 5 weeks. The NFL, they're looking at film constantly, and they're making adjustments. So Peterson's got to do a better job of getting the play calls out there, and maybe throwing a home run every once in a while. And if it gets picked, it gets picked, but at least keep them honest, man. It's just. It looks like almost I don't want to get too pessimistic about it, but, it's almost like that little dink and dunk stuff and all those little passes to Chad Lewis with McNabb when he first came in, which was fine at 8 up yards. There was no yards after the catch, but at least it was just a possession throw, and, just get the first downs that way. You can do a lot with Ertz out there, and Doyle too. Doyle Greenback, the dude's 6'5". Utilize him, for crying out loud. Get him out there. If you have him behind one of the faster receivers and let him slip in, he's going to be in the open field. He's going to be able to out-jump anybody, and use him as a tight, like a secondary tight end type almost. It's getting a little mundane now. And I like to see Sproles be utilized with the swings. Get him out there and screen passes. I've heard it a lot. And the first thing when you look at Sproles is like, my God, he's so small. Get him back there, hidden behind a couple guys. Nobody's going to see where he's at. And he can break a couple. But I don't know what their game plan is going to be. Hopefully, it seems like so far with the 5 weeks, like one guy's kind of their projected go-to guy. Andy Reid. I think Gruden always just talk about Andy Reid has those scripted plays for certain guys, certain calls. I hope Wentz has got a little bit more than McNabb did, where he was just looking at one guy the whole time, and plays designed for that one guy. But somebody's got to step up, and they got to start utilizing, well, their lack of talent. I guess it's tough to utilize what they really don't have. Nobody's got the breakaway speed. There was a lot of talk about Deshaun Jackson and stuff like that. But man, if they could get somebody with some wheels, that would be huge. This game could go either way this week. Looking at it, the offensive numbers that Minnesota's got, the amount of points that the Eagles have been putting up and allowing, it seems like it could be a low-scoring game. You would think, but so many times in you think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. It gets up into the high 20s, into the 30s almost. I sure hope it doesn't get up into the 30s. But I could see, depending on how they come out, with lately, with the last 2 weeks, I'd say Minnesota's going to win this game. It's going to be, like 20, 24, 17, something like that, possibly. But I could see the Eagles flipping it around and coming out and just crushing them. So, but if I had to, for entertainment purposes, if I had to put money on it, I would go with the Vikings covering this week. We'll see how it goes. But hopefully the fans have been starting to turn on Peterson already. Because granted they're 3-2, and nobody really expected them with the 3-2 start, but they were 3-0. And you got to go off of that. You can't just go, we were supposed to be an 8-8, or, and then play like shit the rest of the way. You got to push. No reason why they couldn't make it. Dallas is going to be good. Washington, I still don't think that they're that good, but that's just me. Dallas is probably going to win the division. They got this whole thing with Romo coming back. Romo ain't going to. If they start Romo, they deserve to lose every game, and have Dak thrown in jail for something illegal. Because it's just a matter of time. He's a Cowboy. It's inherited with them. I don't know. Enjoy the game on Sunday. I hear the tailgating is going to be pretty incredible. So it'll be. I'm going to try to get over there. I'm going to have the kids this weekend, so it's going to be tough. But I'm going to try to shoot over there for a little bit, and then get back to watch the game. So have a good weekend, guys, and fly Eagles fly.